Alright, let's do this. There, do that. Yeah, I stayed up too late last night. And no real reason why. I don't have a reason. We're gonna stop and get gas. You guys aren't going to notice it. I don't know why I'm so enthralled with the whole idea that I could pause the video in the middle of recording. It makes perfect sense. Yeah, I used to actually do digital film. And, pausing, cut, you hit pause, you don't hit stop. It makes perfect sense to me. I think it's because my other camera did not have that feature, and if it did, it didn't kind of make it known to me. Well, I don't know. I don't know nothing. Change gears a little bit. I know I just gotta pull the trigger. And it's part of what I was up late last night for was I was gonna stream. I didn't stream. Started artwork, didn't stream. And I'm like, I just gotta do it for an hour. And I just didn't do it. It really is just get it over with. Just do it. Just gotta do it. I am not. Here's the thing. I'm not reinventing myself as a VTuber. I even thought about, unveiling the platypus PNG model, which is just, you know, very different than what I was originally going to have. And yes, I know I could like restart the free trial and get that done. Yeah. But I'm not really changing. I'm gonna probably use the Gremlin more. I might never switch to the platypus. I might never switch. I might do a redesign on the Gremlin. I like calling it a Gremlin. That's the thing. I think when people hear me call it a Gremlin, they think that I am a Gremlin. And that's okay. It's just like thinking that I'm a slime. They're already throwing in the icy roads. It's actually really cold out. I think it's supposed to be back down in the teens tonight. And that's really cold. To me are freaking, it's like that. It's obviously freezing. It really is technically freezing cold, but it's like once you get under 30, but once we get into the teens, it feels like my blood is freezing. I think I needed a change. It's going to be a really nice way to kick off my 5th year. celebrating 5 years. It's going to be a way to kick off the 6th year. You know, 5 years of, you know, building this up and creating this and, you know, moving. I think I've done enough with it. I think it is time to get back to what I was meant to be, which is a YouTuber. I always since its conception, I've always thought it was very interesting. And yes, there were a lot of YouTubers that were VTubers, or VTubers that were YouTubers. Somebody pointed out that VTubers are 9 years old now. Most people who started back when this began, if they were, you know, 19, 20, 21, when they started, they're going into their 30s now. Ooh, so old. No matter how it dices up, I'm gonna still be like kind of the old guy on the block. But it's really kind of cool that like it only took 4 years. VTubers like hit mainstream. I'm trying to think of my streaming life without it. I can't even imagine it. And here's the thing, and this is the really whack-tastic thing about it all. People, you know, were saying like it's 9 years old. There have been people that use stand-ins, you know, personas, models, I don't know how old the virtual space is, but there's been people using that type of modeling for a long time. Definitely using PNG models. For like forever. I'm trying to think of like when I can't put my finger on when it started. Like I was about to say, I can't imagine my life without VTubers, but yeah, PNG tubers, which are still VTubers, they've been around even longer, and it's been, you know, like the in between, which is what I've been doing with my model, which is I'm using GIFs as opposed to the PNG to give a little bit of life. So I could have blinking, and I can have mouse movement. But all that stuff fascinates me. It fascinates me to no end. It's like when I was going to make my animated music video. I think I figured out how to do it. I figured out how to do it. I'm gonna get it done. And it's gonna be, for better or worse, it's gonna be a highly edited video. First, especially audio, highly edited audio, which will be my first non-loud noise but it's also going to be my first music video. So, and what I want that to do, what I want the music video to do is I wanted to give me the inspiration to create more animated music videos. eventually, have those music videos carry on instead of it just being me singing. To let everybody in on a little secret, I have about 20 parody songs that I've written that I haven't turned into loud noises. I still don't have an excuse why I stopped doing loud noises. I really don't have one. I just abruptly stopped one day. And I know that I can say without certainty that it was definitely the kind of the feedback. When I'm starting to cringe at my own songs, and I think the Real Q Bean parody song, I think that really kind of cemented things. And of course things like my Doors marathon getting stopped in the middle, and a few other hits that I took along the way have stopped me from doing it. I know somebody asked me one time, and this is I think 4 years ago, about am I embarrassed, and I really don't know what that feels like. The quick answer is no. I've not been embarrassed at that, but I don't think that I've ever been embarrassed. If it's like being shy. If you talk to my parents, they'll probably tell you that I was shy a lot. I was a very shy kid. They would probably tell you like all this other stuff. It's like even like stage fright. I had to learn. I had to actually physically watch people being shy or acting shy, and I had to learn what recipe that worked for me. I don't actually know what being shy feels like. I know what I think it feels like. I think that I have some empathy for people who are shy. I don't know if that's real. It's kind of like a really bizarre place to be in. Just like embarrassment. Like I know how people who get embarrassed, I know how they act. I know that there's a long pause, and there's the realization that you've made a mistake and things like that. And you can't hold it too long, but you can sustain it for a few seconds. And a few seconds can be like eternity. And the truth is, you got to think fast. You got to think fast, and you got to be on your feet. You're trying to show embarrassment or some level of embarrassment. But if somebody tried to surprise me with it, to make me embarrassed about something, pantsing me is probably something that happened, in high school a lot to me. Where they would pull down my pants. I wouldn't be embarrassed. I would just grab my pants, pull them up, like typical freaking day. And I always thought that the more attention I brought to it, the more attention I brought to it. Like there never really was. With the bullying, I always thought that if I gave them the satisfaction. I think that's one of the reasons why people who knew me, if they saw how I was and they saw that, like literally they'd know it was a performance. Because how I reacted to bullies. I never got embarrassed. I never gave them the satisfaction. I wouldn't even cry out in pain. The times I was even stuffed in lockers. I didn't even bang on the locker. And I think I was, not that there's any luck or anything like that, because I know that when you're inside the locker, you don't need the combination to get out of the locker. I learned that. So even if they put a lock on it, a master lock or whatever, it was like I was freaking Houdini. I would get out of it. And yes, I'm gonna explain. There is an evolution. I had no interest in what was going on the inside of lockers in my high school. No interest at all until I was stuffed in one. And it did take me a little while to figure out how to get out. But I didn't bang. I didn't bang on the thing. I didn't call for my mommy or anything like that. I wanted to be as unaffected by it as possible. as always, cool beans, comments below, and wherever you are, whatever you're doing, I hope you're having a fantastic time doing it. And if you're new, this is, we're kind of reinventing ourselves here, so you are getting in on the ground floor type of thing. Grab a grab a Coke and request a cube, request a slime, request a potteroo, request a fork, whatever. I will gladly make those for you. And if you get on the really nice list with me, I'll make you a potter. I said potter. I'll make you a donkey mankra. And we will figure it all out. Take care of yourself. And I will catch you hopefully tomorrow. Alright, bye.